All right. Well, welcome everyone to the quiz funnels for DTC growth live training. In this video, I'm going to be going over how you can implement a quiz funnel for 2025 and exactly why you should even set something like this up for your e-commerce brand. If you do not know me, my name is Sebastian Fuentes. I am a co-founder here at Growthub as well as the head of email marketing. I have worked in the e-commerce space for almost 5 years now and have been able to generate multiple seven figures across different niches for e-commerce brands through email marketing and other personalized strategies, along with the rest of my team. So the main goals of this workshop is going to be the following. We're going to want to understand the power of quiz funnels. So we're going to learn why quiz funnels are a game-changing strategy for e-commerce brands in 2025. We're going to break down a quiz funnel, so diving into the essential parts from the high-performing quiz funnels to pre-framing pages to email campaigns. I'm also going to discover tools for success. So where you're going to see the best platforms and integrations for building and optimizing quiz funnels, as well as I'm going to create actionable steps for you, which is going to leave you with clear, practical strategies to implement your first or next quiz funnel. So to start off, why are quiz funnels great for brands in 2025? So moving towards personalization first in marketing in 2025 is a must for any brand. There's more and more brands popping up every single day, and if you're not getting personalized with your data, so I don't just mean personalization in terms of adding a first name somewhere or anything like that, but going even further in terms of collecting zero-party data through customer insights to then give them the right marketing pieces. So here's some stats just so you're aware. 73% of consumers say they prefer to buy from brands that use their data to create more relevant shopping experiences. Personalized emails also deliver a 6 times higher transaction rates than generic ones. And brands using advanced personalization see up to a 20% increase in revenue on average. So it's pretty much a no-brainer that if you use personalization in your marketing, you're going to see a boost in overall performance across the board. So what makes a quiz funnel good? The few main parts of a quiz funnel is going to be having engaging questions, having a quality personalized results page, making sure you have conversion-focused design, and you have CTA integration across the board. So in terms of engaging questions, that's really where the main success of your quiz is going to come from. Now, right now in a lot of this training, I'm going to be talking about skincare brands, but this is definitely used across the board in different niches, regardless of what you have. And I'd even suggest to use quizzes, even if you have only a single product store versus multiple products. So in your questions, you're going to want to reflect customer pain points and interests. So like an easy example is what's your biggest skincare challenge? Whether that's if you're a skincare brand and you're talking about, moisturizing or dryness or whatever the case may be, or say like you're a CPG brand that deals with helping with like inflation or bloating or, different things like that. So there's different ways that you can basically ask them these questions to understand why they're purchasing your product. Now, the biggest thing is you're going to want to test your different questions in the beginning. Usually what I like to say is keep your questions short and easy to answer. So using anywhere from 5 to 7 questions are ideal, but that's not the end all be all. I have seen brands that work with 7 or more questions. I've also seen brands that work with 5 or less. So it's really up to you to kind of test and figure out what's going to work best, because you want to make sure that you have that completion rate of your quiz high. You're going to want to use a mix of question types, such as multiple choice, sliders, image-based options, as well to keep it engaging overall. Then in your personalized results page, you're going to want to offer tailored product recommendations or insights based on the quiz responses. You're going to want to include social proof, such as reviews or testimonials to reinforce credibility, and add in trust signals like free shipping badges or guarantees to reduce hesitation. Lastly, you're going to just want to make sure you're addressing the pain points from the quiz responses in the page to tie it back to your product. So just again, using skincare as an example, if someone fills out and they say that they're looking for something that is going to help moisturize their skin, then the products and the information that you're showing on the results page should be geared towards that, or something else. If it's a CPG brand, same thing. If your product deals with bloating, they answer that they're looking for something that's going to help with bloating. You want to make sure that your results page follows that accordingly. Then it's having a conversion focused design. Now, in general, in the e-commerce space, if you don't have a conversion-focused design, you're basically just leaving a ton of money on the table. You want to make sure that your quiz is easy to follow, it's user-friendly, and it's optimized for both mobile and desktop. Avoid clutter and guide users step by step, and you want to use visuals sparingly throughout the questions because you don't want to confuse anyone or make it so, all over the place that they just drop off. Then lastly is just a CTA integration. So you want to use language that ties the offer to their quiz. So like your perfect moisturizing bundle is 15% off today. Get rid of bloat now, or it can be, say it's a protein bar, hit your macros for the day, whatever the case may be. You want to tie it back to that pain point because that's going to be exactly what they were asking, answering about inside the quiz itself. So here's some examples of quality quizzes. So this is Agency by Curology. So this is just a separate brand by the Curology skincare brand. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about it. Now this doesn't show all of the questions, but it just gives you a better idea of exactly how you should set something up like that. So they have like a simple pre-framing quiz start page, which is simply just asking for their customer information and giving some authority. So the way they give authority is they just have, one of their doctors, the face of their doctors, and kind of explains what information we're collecting through the quiz. Then in the actual quiz, these are just the first 3 questions, but it ties a free offer to the quiz. It allows them to create an account, and then it also allows for easy sign-up options. And then it kind of moves forward of asking for their information and then asking what kind of goals you can help with. You can see like the overall design is very clean and minimalistic. You don't need to have too much going on here because you don't want to confuse anyone. Then they have the results page, which has a few different product recommendations, but it's all specific to the customer. So in each of these sections, it's saying how it targets, dryness, it targets, less wrinkles, different things like that. So it's very specific to what you're actually filling out inside of the quiz. That's how you're going to be able to give a more personalized experience and really listen to the customer and know what you want to offer them. Now, here are just some examples of the actual emails that they send after you fill out the quiz. So again, they utilize a mix of plain text and design-heavy emails, making sure that the theme is across the board, talking about the 1-month trial for free and all of those kind of things. So giving different pain points and unique selling propositions to tie back to their recommendations and get them to convert. Because not everyone's going to purchase on that results page. So you need to make sure that you're still following up with emails alongside of that to still push for that, that final conversion and then go from there. Now, what tools should you use to build a quiz funnel? Now, I personally specialize in Shopify as well as Klaviyo. I've used a lot of different platforms out there, but those are my personal favorites. But there's a lot of other ones out there as well. Now, to specifically build the quiz itself, I would suggest you can use Octane AI that integrates directly with Shopify. It's pretty easy to use. Or you can use QuizKit, which is another Shopify app. Both are pretty customizable and pretty scalable as well. So it's really easy for tailored solutions from there. You can also either just use it straight as the designer in there, or you can connect it with something like Pages, which is a website builder, as well as use code if you need to. Now, if you don't have the budget necessarily to do something with Octane or QuizKit, you can use something simply as just like a type form. Now, this isn't the greatest user experience, but it's a great way to still collect zero-party data and learn more about your customers. And then lastly, it's just Outgrow, which also has advanced features for creating niche or data-heavy quizzes. There's a few different options out there. I would definitely take a look and see what makes sense for you and your business. But I've used especially Octane and QuizKit. They work awesome. I would definitely suggest looking into it. And then in terms of email integrations, Klaviyo does directly integrate with both Octane, QuizKit, and Shopify. Now you can also use things like MailChimp or OmniSend and other platforms like that. I personally prefer Klaviyo. It's just what I've always used. But the segmentation is really great. It's going to allow you to really get specific on what quiz answers are what and what you're sending to who. Because you don't want to send out the same emails to the same people regardless of what their quiz answers are. You want to get really specific in the emails so you're educating them on the right content. Then lastly, it's really just making sure that you're tracking the right performance metrics. So you want to track your opt-in rates. So this is how many people complete the quiz and share their information. This is important for 2 reasons. One is going to tell you if your quiz is actually working or not. So people are actually filling things out. But number 2, it's going to let you know how many emails you're actually collecting. Because The quizzes can be used both as a conversion focused, so top of the funnel conversion focused, or it can be used as just simply lead generation to build up your email list. So there's different ways to do that. And then outside of that, you want to focus on your conversion rate. So this is going to be on the results page, but also your conversion rate when someone clicks on an email and then goes to the results page as well. Then it's your AOV. So we all know what the track AOV is. And then lastly, email performance. So this is going to tie directly into how good your questions are. So the biggest thing is testing the questions in your quiz, because you need to know exactly if the question is quality enough and the data that you're listening to actually matters to the customers. You know, you don't want to just ask a question for the sake of asking it. You want to make sure it's something that directly ties back to their reason why they're shopping. So that way you can get more personable with that. Now, in this session, I'm just going to go over a full funnel breakdown, and then from there, we'll start a Q&A and we can kind of move from there. So again, I'm just using Curology because they do an awesome job with their quizzes. So this is just simply their pre-framing page. This is just the top of the funnel part, but you can see here it's very, very simple. You do not want to overcomplicate your pre-framing page, because at the end of the day, you're trying to just get someone to click this button and go to actually take the quiz. So the pre-framing page, you want to make sure it has a clear headline, compelling benefits, simple design, and you can add in optional trust signals like testimonials, completed quiz counts, different things like that as well. But you really just want to make it simple and easy to understand what they're getting out of the quiz. So that way, when they click like get my formula or take the quiz or whatever your call to action is, it's simple and straightforward, and then they can go ahead and actually complete it. Once you click on the pre-framing page, then Curology takes you to the actual main quiz. Now, these are some of their main questions, but basically you just want to make sure that the quiz itself is designed to keep users engaged while you're collecting the insights. So these are things like having an intuitive flow, making it really simple and easy. You can have like a progress bar so they know how long it's taken to do the quiz, a timer, different things like that. Now, in terms of length, aim for 5 to 7 questions like I suggested, but you definitely want to test longer and short form quizzes as well. And then lastly, it's just diversing the different question types. So having multiple choice, using sliders, and using image-based questions, so that it's kind of a mix of different things so it's not boring. So you can see here in this screenshot, this is the first page of when you fill out the quiz. So it's literally just asking you for some of your information to then actually start and get ahead. Then when you look here, this is where they use more image-based. So they're showing exactly what the problem is. And then that way, as a consumer, especially because you may just not necessarily know what the actual, like say, especially in skincare, what the scientific term is, then you can actually see it directly with the picture for the acne. So for example, if you're looking for something that's going to clear your acne, you're seeing the picture with acne and you're going to say, okay, this makes sense. This is what I'm dealing with. I'm going to click that now. And here's just a few others. Now, they do actually have a lot of questions in this. I believe they have around 9 or so. But again, it works for them. That's why you just want to make sure you're kind of split testing a few different quizzes to find out what is working for you best in terms of completion rate, data you're collecting, and just the overall engagement that you get and conversions from the quiz itself. So again, you can kind of see here. So some other goals, again, they're just using pictures, which is super easy. It makes sense. There's not a ton of clutter in the background. It's not confusing for anyone. Kind of continues, and they use great icons here as well. More icons, and then like the final question, which is getting their email and having them create a password so that they can create an account to see their routine. And then you can see it says join the 93% who report our custom formula is effective. So that's just some quick and easy social proof. So you can see like, all right, if you fully complete this and you give us your information, you're going to see success through the skincare recommendations that we give you. Now, this is the results page. Again, I only kind of have the top half of it, but you can get a pretty good idea of how basically you want to give the personalized recommendations. You want to highlight the products or insights that are directly related to the pain points that are revealed in the quiz. So you can see here, it gives like the top, formula for, the custom formula. It talks about how it's a free offer. So it's something easy, an irresistible offer from there. And then going to here, it actually tells you specifically from the answers that the answers you gave in the quiz, what you should use. So, for combination skin, using this set right here. For sudden spots, using this set right here. These are all things that we answered in the quiz beforehand. So now it speaks directly to the customer with the pain points and what product is solving what. that makes it super straightforward and easy to understand. And then that's where the dynamics call to actions with specific prompts like solve, the pain point with your personalized bundle today or something else works really well. So they have a few different options. You can kind of build your own routine from there. So especially in a situation where if you do have multiple products, this is where you can get really special with what kind of AOV increases you can do, whether it's, a 2 product bundle, 3 product bundle, whatever the case may be. But even if it's only a 1 product store, you can still have the quiz and just suggest them the products regardless. Then you can kind of start building up as you collect more information and maybe increase the product line from there. But I have seen people have great success even with just 1 product. So don't feel like if you're in a situation like that, the quiz is not for you, because I just don't agree with that. Then lastly, personalized quiz email campaign. So Curology has awesome email designs. I love how their email designs look. They give different answers to questions in there, FAQ. They're showing, what is actually in the products and how it solves the different pain points. It talks about getting your skin on track with 3 easy steps, talking about if it really does work, giving testimonials, showing more social proof, basically overall just promoting more results and credibility. That way, for especially the people who didn't convert from that results page, they still have the chance to convert from the emails. You pretty much want to treat it as like its own welcome series, just being more personalized to the actual answers that are being provided. And then from there, you can also even provide like a exclusive offer inside of here, whether that's a discount, different bundles, free shipping, whatever the case may be. This is where you want to get really, you want to get like a little more creative and test some different things here. But overall, the most important thing is making sure that you're using the proper segmentation to make sure that every email is relevant to the person who filled it out. So don't just do one single flow that's super general. Instead, build it out on the main pain points. So just using, again, skincare for an example, if you have, a question that asks, are you facing dryness? Are you facing, acne, flare-ups, different things like that? Then from there, you can have the segments based on that and have educational content and promotional content in the flow to drive to them. Now, you don't need too many emails here either. I really would only probably start with 4 emails, and then you can always build out more emails as you kind of go along. So 4 emails in a segment, and then kind of optimize and go from there. So that is pretty much everything in terms of the information about quizzes. Some of the key takeaways are these. Quiz funnels are game changers for e-commerce brands. It's something you're going to want to start testing. It's a great way to build up your email list. It's a great way to provide a new user experience outside of just your regular driving traffic to the product page. And it just overall can help grow your brand a lot in a different way. Number 2, it's a high converting quiz funnel has different key elements. I would definitely suggest you look back at the training. I'm going to repost this inside of the school community as well as the slideshow, so you can kind of take your own time to look through everything. But there's main points, which is having a clear and concise design, having relevant questions, having a quality personalized results page that actually speaks to their pain points, and same thing with the email campaigns. You really need to make sure that they all flow together and each one is saying the same thing. Number 3 is making sure you're planning and using the tools correctly, and that's going to be what makes the difference. So using platforms like Octane or QuizKit for easy quiz creation, using tools like Klaviyo to create personalized follow-ups, utilizing things like gem pages for a quiz build for the pre-framing page as well as the results page. All of these things lining up will create a really good overall user experience that people will convert from. And then lastly, once you have this data collected, you want to leverage that data across your entire funnel. So this is where you can start to run retargeting campaigns through ads to those specific people who fill out the pain points, and then have landing pages to that. This is where you can add these, if you see that people are filling out the same pain point every time, you now know that that is an important topic that you can talk about in your email campaign calendar. This is where you can build out new funnels, editorials, different things like that. So this is where that data that you got doesn't just stop at the quiz. You want to take that and run with it in terms of your overall marketing strategy across the board. But that is pretty much everything for this training. I hope that you guys were able to take some great notes and information from here. If anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. Be happy to answer. And then other than that, I think that we'd be good here. So I'll just give a few minutes. If Murillo, if you have any questions or anything, definitely drop it in here. Andrew, I know if you don't have any questions, that's fine. Other than that, I think we're good. So in the case of where you only have one product, you may not necessarily be able to give them different options, but what you can do is get more specific to what like your product solves for those pain points, right? So if you give like, one answer, so one of your questions ask them like basically why did you buy this product? Like what is your or why are you looking to buy this product? Like what are the main problems you're trying to solve? You give them however many options, maybe that's 5 options or however many based on your product. And then in your results page, instead of giving them multiple options, you're pretty much just diving deeper into that specific pain point, right? So like if someone click answer one, then you go ahead and in the results page, you're specifically talking about answer one in that results page, right? So you're getting a little more specific. So that's kind of how you're able to do that. But then even further, that's where like you can kind of throw in some little freebies. So maybe it's not even necessarily just giving them one option, but if your product is able to be bought multiple times, say it's something that is reusable, that's where you can give bundles. You can give them just a special discount because they fill out the quiz. So there's different ways outside of just only giving them multiple options. But awesome, glad that kind of made sense. Did you have any other questions?
No, not on my side, but thank you very much.
All right, awesome. Yeah, no problem at all. Well, I hope that you were able to, take a lot of information from this. And outside of that, basically be on the lookout. I'm going to be hosting trainings, basically weekly going into February. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different topics. So definitely keep a lookout inside the school community. Thank you for joining, and I will be posting the replay in the school community shortly. Awesome.
Thanks, Sebastian. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, no problem. You have a great one too. Bye bye.